So yeah, Kentaro Miura is dead. It was officially announced by Hakusensha that he died on May 6th of 2021, and his family held a private ceremony for his passing. Now, if you don't live under a rock and pay attention to the anime and manga industry, you may have heard last night that Miura-sensei passed away due to acute aortic dissection. Basically, it's what happens when a person's heart valves literally tears apart in your chest. So yeah, that's a way to go. And to all the jackasses whose first question was to ask him on hearing about his death, does this mean we'll not get a conclusion to Berserk? Fuck off for literally ever. The news is barely a day old, and your main concern the moment you hear about the man's death is whether the manga will be finished. Look, we may make a lot of jokes about how autistic and trash the anime community can be, but come on, man. Get a fucking clue. Show a bit of fucking empathy and have some tact for a few minutes. But let's be completely honest, even if Miura's assistants that worked with him over the years was even given the go-ahead and attempted to finish the story of Berserk, would it truly be what you want? Realistically, most likely not. Whether we like it or not, Berserk is Miura's baby, and without his touch being present, the story will not be the same, and his absence will be felt. But enough about whether Berserk will get a proper ending, and let's celebrate the man that was Miura Kentaro Sensei, and how fucking metal of a mangaka, and most importantly an artist he was. Right now I'm showing you an image from the first manga Miura made, and you can definitely tell it's his first, but guess how old he was when he made it? Go on, guess. 10 fucking years old. Shh. You hear that? Those are the screams of artists who wish they were that talented when they were 10 years old. Okay, jokes aside, honestly one of the main things that made me stick around for the Berserk manga releases was not just the story, but it was the insanely autistic savant level of detailed artwork he drew. When you read a manga of his and flip through the pages, it truly feels like you are reading something special, just due to the quality of work on display, both, as far as a story as well as just the artwork in general. You can tell that the man was passionate about what he did, but it's also that passion that was a double-edged sword. There was only so many chapters of detailed art and story you can make until burnout set in, and it set in hard. In fact, the amount of hiatuses Miura took as a result of burnout practically became a meme. But if you know anything about the manga industry and their tight publication schedules of serialized IPs that just chew up and spit out talent year after year, this is not surprising. The artist/author of the manga Tepu attested to the fact that the reason he canceled the manga in the first place and rushed the ending was simply due to the fact that the man's health was failing him in the middle of working himself to the bone to finish chapters of the manga, and he just couldn't do it anymore, and he had to prioritize his health over his creation. Fuck, as an artist, I can attest good art is fucking hard. It takes a lot of time, patience, and tears. I ran into burnout personally as well, and it took me about 6 years to pick up my pencils again, so I can relate. In fact, the burnout caused Miura to work on 2 separate mangas in between hiatuses, Gigantomachia and Doranki, both a far cry from Berserk. Eventually, he would resume making more chapters of Berserk with his team helping him out with the slack and giving him the motivation to work on the manga. But of course, we all know how that would end. In the short amount of time since hearing about his death, many people have voiced how upsetting the news is. Not just because of the fact that Berserk is most likely not getting an ending, but because of how significant of a loss it is to live in a world without Kentaro Miura in it. The impact his work has had on media as a whole has been numerous and plentiful, and has inspired many other artists and creators around the globe, and to know his presence will no longer be felt is just sad. In fact, a video you may have been seeing floating around on social media was of a mass group of Final Fantasy XIV players upon hearing the news of his death while playing the game, impromptu arranged a candlelight vigil in honor of the man, and rightfully so. it's funny, well, not his death, but something else that popped up while making this video was a quote from Miura during his last interview before passing on. And I'm just going to read the whole ending segment of this interview. Nagashima, let's stop here to avoid spoilers. What will you do after Berserk? As I recall, you had long ideas about a project and genre of science fiction. Can you tell us more about this? Miura, can I talk to you about you know what? In fact, it depends on when this interview is published. Then it's better not to talk about it. In the end, everything will depend on the age at which I finish Berserk. If I get really old, I'll publish my own stories. Then publish them with us. I don't think I can keep up with the rhythm of serial publication. I would just send the manuscripts when they are ready and that's it. Mind you, I'm already doing this. When I'm done, I'll be recuperating. As soon as I rest and feel that I can continue, I will continue. After all, it is the fate of the mangaka of the Showa era, the period in the history of Japan from December 25th, 1926 to January 7th, 1989, to die at the drawing table. How eerily prophetic that prediction ended up being. In any case, I don't want to end this on too dour of a note. I think instead of focusing on how he died, we should pay homage to how the man lived. Making metal as fuck art. Draw in peace, Miura-sensei. Draw in fucking peace.